Hey YouTube, it's Nova Scotia Silver again. I'm gonna try a couple different things here. I'm just playing around with the video settings. My last video I made, I realized dates and things were in reverse, so I've got that, I believe, fixed now. And the other thing was I still get a bit of a glare here, so I'm just trying to work with lighting. So I turned the light off. Hopefully, I've got enough light for everyone to get at least a glimpse of what I'm showing here today. Not that there's any big surprises, you can't find out what they are on online, but um, just I'm going to share with you now my 50 Canadian 50-cent piece collection and silver dollar collection, um, and amongst other things. So the 50-cent pieces, always kind of an interesting piece. Uh, they're all basically look the same, other than the 1967 50-cent piece. And the only other one here was the earlier design, the 1919 50-cent piece. But I've got basically every year here: 39, 41, 2, and basically every year right up through to 1967, which, as you know, again, were 80% silver. Um, and I've got, of course, duplicates. A number of them have many duplicates, especially when I get into the 60s. It seems to be a lot more of them out there. But it's amazing the weight that's on the page compared to the same amount of 50-cent pieces, which I have later on in this binder. Um, that They're made slightly smaller, and of course they don't have the silver content, and the weight is just quite different. So um, majority of these 50-cent pieces, again, were purchased from a collection that my late uncle had, um, and I basically, he had them just in rolls. I know, again, there's the collectors out there, junk silver, and they would basically just see this as junk silver, and that's fine. They put them in tubes, and I respect that for sure. For me, I'm more, again, the numismatic, if you want to call it. I'm going to call it a coin collector. And I just want to preserve what I have and display a little bit better than putting in a tube. But that's me, and like I said, I respect everyone for their own opinions. I think it's great that if you're just collecting, you're collecting. It's excellent that way. And I know everyone out there probably has that, either those hoarder coins or those coins that are just, whether they're mementos from a trip or from a previous family member, or you just found they're interesting, or they speak to you personally. I think it's great. Um, so it's just one of those things that I think everyone probably has, probably some sort of little stash. I know here in Canada, of course, we seem to be very well known probably for uh, our special coins that are put in circulation with different designs. Our 25-cent pieces or quarters seem to always be the main ones that get hit too. There's normally the caribous on it. Um, but when you think back, I mean, they went back and they put a cougar on it in 1967, for the centennial, which was very interesting. And they did it with all the different denominations. And then again in 1973, they put the RCMP on there, which was great. Then you go fast forward to 1992 and the 125th anniversary of Confederation. And so there was one for each month, basically, that was put out. Almost basically, it was one for each province. I think it really spurred a lot of people from start coin collecting. I know that's what started me around that time. It was a little bit of interest. I didn't really do much. I didn't have the money. I was quite young at the time. I was only, I was only 11. Um, so there's my age for you. And so my grandmother had been collecting too for a number of years, and just kind of put those things away. Again, she didn't really buy much, from like a high value stuff. She just pulled it over her own change, and I've still continued to do that now. I did have quite a large collection of some of these quarters, in around the millennium when they came out with some different ones, and they've done more since then too. Remembrance Day and Veterans, and and breast cancer, things like that, which are very, very cool. They've done color on them, you know, a variety of different things. So it's you know, I've enjoyed it that way, um, from the from picking up my change. But I did have, like I said, a lot around that time, and I ended up taking a lot into a coin store, basically just getting the value of the face value of it, just to trade in for other things I was collecting. So it worked out well. So again, I've gone through a lot of the 50-cent pieces. Again, I just do this to kind of talk while I'm going along, but nothing real big changes here as far as designs or anything. So now we get into the dollars. These are the silver dollars, of course, as you can tell. It's a lot of weight on one page, as you can well imagine. I mean, we've got what we've got here, 25. Sorry. 24 silver dollars on one page. And again, they're all good weight. I say 24, yeah, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Sorry, my apologies. My God, that's pretty bad. Anyways, maybe it's just camera shy. Yeah, 20 silver dollars on a page, and so these were, again, majority were from a collection that was my uncle's, and I was very appreciative to be able to purchase that collection at a reasonable price. A few other ones I've picked up here and there. For instance, this 1949 with the ship was one I just recently got out of another collection that I had bought. I pulled a few things out of it, and then I sold the rest of it off. There's a lot of other Canadian silver that was in there, which was, you know, as much as I'd like to keep it, I was also just looking to get some money back out and keep a few things that I really needed for the collection, so it didn't really cost me anything, which was nice. So again, a lot, you know, a good chunk of these. I've really, you know, I really enjoy having these. They're always kind of nice piece of history to have, Canadian history. So, and as you can see, you get through to here, and then you get to this 67 silver dollar with a goose on it. And then when you go to 68, you can see the size difference between the two. It's just it's quite a difference. You know, we don't usually have rolls of silver dollars here, but if we did, you would be able to fit one of these in here. And same with the 50-cent pieces. So, but again, there's, you know, a lot of these are just ones I've picked up over time or been given. So it's again, nothing too crazy or spectacular here. You know, I wouldn't pay really anything over $1 for any of this stuff anyway. And I do have one extra silver dollar. I'd have to go back and put it in the set because I do have them in there from a date perspective, and I have to basically shift everything around to do that, which I don't mind. I'll do it once in a while, but I'll wait a little bit. So there's another one there. And of course, I just get into and put in some of the special loonies that have come out over the years. You know, 92 and this double date 92 and 94, 95. You know, the peacekeeping, Olympics 2004, Terry Fox, another Olympics, Montreal Canadiens in 2009, Saskatchewan Roughriders, the Vancouver Olympics 2010, the veterans. This is the Boreal Forest, and this was the new design for the loonie right here. It came out in 2012, and then they did the Grey Cup as well. It's a different plating. You can see it's a different color almost as well. So this is a lot more yellow. This seems to be a little more orange in a sense when you see them side by side. So anyways, I thought, again, I'd just use this as an opportunity to talk a little bit about what I've come across, how I've come across it. I've picked up on it quite a bit. I wish I was richer than I am now, to be able to afford to buy more. I know I will more in time. I'm just a younger guy yet, but got a young family and a very supportive wife that allows me to do some of this once in a while, to go buy some things. So, you know, this is just, again, part of the collection. the whole thing. I will keep everyone updated as I progress along. I'll keep showing more of my collection that I've accumulated over the last, well, 10, almost 15 years now, and hopefully it sparks more interest there for someone else, young or old, to maybe pick up at the hobby and just think about it from a couple different perspectives. You can think about it from an interest perspective, a hobby perspective, from a historical perspective, from an investment perspective, from a bullion perspective is a different way to think of as investing. Um, and when saying that, you think, okay, well, here's a 1919 50-cent piece from Canada. You know, it has a face value of 50 cents. It's always going to be worth 50 cents, no matter what. But again, a lot of people think, well, what if the world goes um, in the crapper, so to speak, and 50 cents isn't really worth anything? It's all based on metal values or things like that. We're almost getting back to where things started in the world as far as trade. So then you think about something like this, and you think, well, then it's not this. The face value has no point in it, but it has to do with the silver value, which is cool. Again, the historic side, you think you've got something here was in Canada, is now well over 90 years old, approaching 100 years old pretty soon. You got to think of the people that have held this coin, spent this coin, what they bought with that, what that 50 cents was worth in 1919. Lots of really interesting things from that perspective. And I've enjoyed it from all way perspective. When I started doing this, it wasn't something as a retirement investment. I have RSPs and all that stuff. And this may become something when I course later on when I go to retire. It may become something I sell to live off of if need be. But right now it's more for enjoyment. And if one of my kids or grandkids takes an interest, then that becomes a decision I make at the time to maybe decide to pass it along to them. So hopefully, like I said, spark maybe some more interest. I'll keep showing some more videos and keep watching. Thanks very much.